Dear explorers of if you are ready to transmute your understanding of self, subscribe to our channel now and dive with us into the arcana of inner mastery, the most misunderstood but also the most powerful trait in a world obsessed with noise and reaction, where every opinion is shouted, every emotion broadcast, every movement captured, lies the power of restraint. The man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't chase, who doesn't show his hunger, is the one others fear most. It's not apathy, but control, composure, domination disguised as disinterest. To be nonchalant isn't to care less, but to care selectively, to conceal one's intentions, to remain indecipherable. Machiavelli understood that appearances are weapons. He taught that a prince must learn to seem composed, even in the heart of chaos. For as soon as others perceive your desperation, they can manipulate it. But when they see nothing, when your eyes betray no need, your face no urgency, your words no panic, they are disarmed. They cannot grasp you, and what cannot be grasped becomes dangerous. The nonchalant man holds his power in silence. He speaks sparingly. He acts with calculation. He doesn't rush to fill the void with noise, nor does he expose the extent of his emotions. He is disciplined. He is deliberate, while others react to every affront, every rumor, every change in the wind. He remains still, not out of passivity, but because he observes, judges, waits. There is a strength in making others uncertain, in becoming the question that persists in their minds. Why isn't he reacting? Why isn't he chasing? Why does he seem indifferent? Their confusion becomes his advantage, their curiosity, his control. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop reaching out, you begin to attract others. The world is drawn to mystery. It flees the predictable and clings to the unknown. Machiavelli never advocated emotional transparency. He wrote that a ruler must know how to conceal his intentions. Nonchalance is the perfect disguise. It's not an absence of emotion, but a mastery of emotions. It's showing nothing while feeling everything, thinking deeply while appearing detached, maintaining the upper hand while feigning indifference. When you are nonchalant, you dictate the emotional climate. Others must guess what you feel, what you want. You give no clues, no obvious signs, no openings. They play your game thinking they're playing theirs, and when they realize it's too late, they've already revealed themselves. Their cards are on the table, yours remain hidden. It's a psychological war. The one who seems to need nothing is often the one who controls everything. What you seem not to want, others rush to offer you. What you feign not to desire, they try to give you. Your detachment incites pursuit. Your silence creates attention. Your calm imposes authority. But this calm is not natural. It is trained. The nonchalant man has taught himself to pause, to delay, to observe. He has created a distance between his emotions and his expressions. He doesn't confuse urgency with action, nor visibility with influence. He acts only when it matters. And when he acts, he is noticed. You cannot beg for respect and hope to receive it. You cannot plead for attention and maintain your dignity. The truly confident man, truly in control, seems to care less. Even if he feels deeply, he never shows it too soon. He understands that emotion is a currency he spends with precision. The world respects what it cannot fully understand, what it cannot predict, what it cannot dominate. The nonchalant man becomes the symbol of this resistance. He is the embodiment of discipline in an era of impulsivity. He is the ghost in a room full of noise, the one who reveals nothing but sees everything. And in a world that constantly screams to be heard, the one who speaks the least often commands the most. Nonchalance is not born of arrogance, but of clarity. The man who sees clearly has no need to react. He has already calculated the outcome. He has already accepted what he can control and dismissed what he cannot. There is no internal chaos to manage, so his external world remains still. He becomes untouchable, not because nothing affects him, but because he refuses to be seen flinching. Most people wear their insecurities on their sleeves. They apologize before speaking, laugh too loudly, share too much, seek validation they haven't yet earned. But the nonchalant man moves differently in the world. He doesn't look around to see who's watching him. He doesn't adjust his posture to please. He stands as if he belongs because he has already decided that he does. This mastery is disconcerting. It threatens the frantic, exposes the insecure, because while others try to prove something, he proves nothing. He simply is. And in a world addicted to attention, to resistance, to drama, The man who refuses to be shaken becomes impossible to ignore. Machiavelli wrote that it's not enough to be strong, you must seem strong. In the same way, it's not enough to feel composed. You must seem unshakable, because appearance becomes reality. If others believe you are in control, they treat you as such. If they think you are impervious, they start to question their own behavior. You control their perception by mastering your own expression. Nonchalance is not a costume you put on, nor a role to gain approval. It is the fruit of a mind that no longer chases what doesn't matter. It is the reward of mastering impulses, breaking the addiction to attention, understanding that urgency is often the enemy of power. The man who acts with urgency relinquishes the throne. The one who moves slowly, speaks little, waits, begins to rule. There is an energy in restraint, a calm and profound power that comes from doing less, saying less, reacting less. Every time you withhold an emotional response, you reclaim possession of yourself. Every time you let others reveal their intentions while you remain still, you gain insight. An insight is the currency of advantage. Some will call it cold, distant, but the nonchalant man doesn't flinch in the face of misunderstanding. He's not there to be liked, he's there to win. And to win, in the Machiavellian sense, is not to possess more, but to last longer, maneuver more skillfully, outwit. Don't confuse nonchalance with passivity. It's not a weakness, it's a sharpened patience, a form of concentrated detachment that only the disciplined can maintain. That said, I am not threatened by what you do. I don't have to prove anything. I'm not afraid to let silence speak for me. In every room, there is a man who doesn't compete. He doesn't throw himself into every argument, doesn't chase every opportunity, doesn't offer his opinion unless it's worth more than the silence it replaces. This man dominates the room because his energy is rare. His presence doesn't beg, it commands. You might feel the pressure to be loud, to constantly assert yourself, to take up space with sound. But ultimately, those who are truly confident don't need the world's permission. They don't play out their power, they carry it discreetly. And when that silence enters a room, everyone notices it. Nonchalance is often confused with arrogance, but it's not based on ego. It's based on mastery. Mastery of timing, presence, expression. It's the ability to feel deeply while showing nothing, to be fully engaged while appearing perfectly detached. This illusion that of needing nothing creates attraction. People gravitate toward what pulls away from them. They obsess over what ignores them. They submit to what doesn't beg. This is the paradox of power. The less you reveal, the more people imagine. The less you pursue, the more they pursue you. The less you speak, the more weight your words carry. The nonchalant man isn't silent because he has nothing to say. He's silent because most things aren't worth saying. He doesn't waste his presence. He doesn't dilute himself by being everywhere all the time. He waits. He appears when it matters. And when he does, people pay attention. Machiavelli warned that the appearance of virtue is more useful than virtue itself. Similarly, the appearance of indifference is more powerful than genuine indifference. A man who feels nothing is numb, and numbness is a weakness. But a man who feels everything and filters it with discipline is untouchable, for he can face chaos, insult, temptation, and choose silence. You don't owe anyone your emotion. You don't owe the world your vulnerability. To be nonchalant is to say, I decide what matters. I decide what enters my world. I decide when to speak and when to be silent. This is the root of confidence, not bravado, not confrontation, but the refusal to be shaken, except on your own terms. Observe how people panic in silence, how they rush to fill it, confess too much, try too hard, betray their hand because they can't stand not knowing what you're thinking. This is the leverage nonchalance creates. You say nothing, and they reveal everything. It's not about playing games, but about controlling space, emotional, psychological space. If someone makes you angry and you remain calm, they lose control. If they insult you and you remain impassive, they become uncomfortable. If they resist you and you don't pursue, they question themselves. This is how power is built, not through dominance, but through discipline. The man who doesn't flinch has spent years training this stillness. He has faced his fears in private, burned his weaknesses in silence, learned the difference between reaction and response. Reaction is easy, response is rare. Reaction is instinctive, response is strategic. The nonchalant man lives in response. He knows what he wants, but he's not desperate. He knows who he is, so he doesn't play a role. He knows what he brings, so he doesn't sell himself short. This quiet certainty radiates. It doesn't need promotion. It's felt, not heard. Seen, not explained. You must learn to accept the tension of being misunderstood, to hold your expression in the face of mistaken judgment, to delay gratification when attention is within reach, to keep your plans to yourself when your ego craves applause. This is the cost of power, the price of composure, the discipline of There will be times when you want to react, when silence will seem like weakness, when walking away will feel like defeat. But remember, most people are governed by impulse. They act quickly, emotionally, loudly, and that noise is what buries them. What makes them predictable, vulnerable, replaceable. The nonchalant man is never forgotten, for in a world addicted to stimulation, his calm is rare, his restraint seems dominant. People don't forget how you make them feel. Being in the presence of someone who doesn't need, who doesn't chase, who doesn't flinch, that feeling is unforgettable. It's gravity, it's dominance. You want to be respected? Then stop playing a role. Stop over-explaining. Stop reacting to everything that demands your attention. Start observing. Start measuring your energy as if it were the most precious currency you possess, because it is. A man who can remain composed under pressure, who doesn't reveal his hand, who lets others speak first and react last. That man holds true power, not the kind that shines and fades, but the kind that endures, the kind that builds empires, shapes perceptions, and changes the emotional balance of every room he enters. Nonchalance isn't about caring less. It's about caring precisely, directing your energy only where it matters, staying steady when others are desperate to see you waver. This is not for the weak or the impulsive. It is for the man who has looked chaos in the face and refused to blink, who has mastered himself so completely that the world must learn to respond to him. And this is the final lesson. Be nonchalant, not to appear powerful, but because you already are. If this exploration of nonchalance has resonated with you and touched your mind, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below to share your thoughts and experiences. Your feedback is invaluable. 2L. And if you wish to delve deeper into an inner clarity, remember to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future publications. See you soon for a new transmutation.